It's Thursday, August the 12th. It's the King of the Mountain State Show. I'm Chase Hill. We're going to be using this platform to bring you all the up-to-date news with King of the Mountain State, as well as talk about West Virginia boxing, interviews with the fighters, their trainers, coaches, retired fighters, to try to give you a behind-the-scene look at everything leading up to the event, some of the storylines and drama, as well as who these guys are outside the ring. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors, Dutch Miller Auto Group, Hill Chiropractic, Tri-State Fitness, Train with Ames, Spriggs Distributing, Julian Mini Mart, Church's Auto Repair, and Q2 Real Estate. My first guess goes 100 miles an hour all day, every day, whether he's being a dad, working out in the gym, or being the Lincoln County accessory. The man's an animal, Jereme, the Animal Browning.
Hey, thanks for having me, Chase.
Glad you're here, man. One of the reasons we're doing this first interview with Jereme, he was the first guy to ever sign up and say yes to this tournament. Before we start talking about the animal and we start talking about the boxing stuff inside the ring, tell us a little bit about who you are outside the Browning. Who's Jereme Browning?
Well, like I said, I was raised here in Harts, West Virginia by my mom and dad, Neil and Veronica Browning. I graduated from Harts High School. I was married very young. I'm 38. My wife and I have been married almost 19 years. I'm a graduate from Marshall University. I worked 10 years underground coal mining, got into line work for the last 5 years, and then really kind of fell into this job as the assessor and then won my election. So now I'm here to stay.
Good. And it seems like you're doing a good job down there. You know, I'm from Boone County. My brother's farm's down in Lincoln County. I hear a lot of good stuff about it. Tell me about this. We've talked. You're 38 years old. You're getting started late in the game, into the boxing game. What happened? What clicked? What was the moment in time where you said, I'm actually going to do this?
Well, I always wanted to do it. It's something I wanted to do from the time I've been 18. But having children and being married and working in the coal mines, my job was very physical. So I was always afraid. I didn't have a lot of knowledge on the sport, and I was always afraid of an injury causing me not be able to work anymore. So, I was as you know, I was 365 pounds 3 years ago. So I'd lost weight. I'd gotten a whole lot better shape and kind of got hackled with the substation crew I was working with in Huntington. And I hope they're watching because they're the ones that gave me such a hard time. But we heard about this tournament, and finally from 6 a.m. till 11, after being hackled that long, I was like, lunchtime, I'm signing up. So I signed up and loved it after I went. So here I am.
So tell me this, you said 365. Was that as big as you had gotten? Was 365? It's pretty big.
Yeah, that was my top weight. I stayed there for a while.
What are you walking around at now?
I weighed in yesterday. Now, mind you, this is with work boots on and blue jeans. I weighed in at 247.
That's good. I mean, that's over 100 pounds. And it's like we had talked about, wearing jeans smaller than you did in high school. So that's pretty good. Tell me this. We do our homework. We put a list together of 30 people that we wanted to invite into the heavyweight tournaments and select 16 of them. Austin Markham, of course, a good friend of mine, pro fighter, had given me your name. I did my homework. It looked like it was going to be a great match. You get the invitation in the mail. You don't know who you're fighting. You don't know necessarily where you're fighting or when. You didn't even know all the rules and stuff. And here it didn't take very long for you to call me the same day and say, yes, I'm in. What goes into that decision?
Again, I'm 38 years old. I've got a couple of years left, truly, if nothing bad happens. And basically, I have a couple of years to make something happen with a career in boxing. So the bigger the competition sounds, the better the competition sounds, the more I'm in. I want to go as far as I can with this. And, I heard this will be a very large competition statewide. And I want it in. I want to win this competition.
Well, you really set the tone whenever you decided to get in. I mean, that was something that other guys definitely had to take notice to. Let me ask you this. You've got a fight under your belt now. You did fight in round one. You won 99% of that fight, but you ended up getting caught, and it ended up being a loss for you. What was the stage like? What was it like hearing your music that you picked with your cornerman and those kind of things moving forward? Was it what you expected? Was it more? Was it less? Tell me a little bit about that experience.
It was way more than I expected. It was really nerve wracking because it was like I said, it was a whole nother stage from what I saw the first time. And it tore on my nerves just a little bit, but I feel a lot better now. I know what to expect when I go into the ring. I know what to expect prior to going into the ring. And I do now have a coach, Pearl Dotson, who is helping me tremendously, and Daniel Hensley. Those guys are really, really working with me. I feel like we've made improvements by leaps and bounds just in the last few weeks. So, we're going to go out a little differently next time.
And talking about next time, August the 28th, we had an injury with Aaron Hairston, and we had a weight change with Bobby Freshness to where he's dropping down to light heavyweight. So there was a couple spots opened up. We looked at the top couple guys that we had rated as far as like through the ABA amateur rankings. And there you were sitting. You were familiar with the tournament, obviously. So we reach out to you again, a quick decision for you to decide to go ahead and get back into it. As we move forward this time around, you've got Brandon Boggs from Boone County, a guy that I know you're familiar with. Tell me a little bit of how you're going to approach this fight, knowing kind of the guy you're up against and knowing the venue and all that kind of stuff, how it's going to be different for you this time.
Well, Brandon's a hell of a fighter. He's MMA champ for a reason. The boys, he's a great person, great guy, but he's in it to win it just like I am. And I'd rather not give away my new strategy because it's going to be a little different. I'd rather it be a surprise when we go in the ring, but you mentioned way differently than the first.
And you mentioned Pearl Dotson. I mean, that's one thing that I think everybody has, and Daniel Hensley as well, but getting some work with Pearl, as we've talked about, boxing is so important with training, that kind of stuff. How quickly were you able to grasp some things from Pearl?
Very quickly. And the reason being is I've had some wonderful guys to help me, and hopefully I'll get a chance to mention them before this interview's over. But it's a little different with somebody you're sparring with, trying to show you where you're messing up, than somebody standing beside you, watching you spar and seeing where you're messed up. So Pearl really helped me correct some things and helped me work on some techniques that I just never had explained to me. So it's really, really, to me, made a world of difference just in the last couple of weeks.
So when we got to Bluefield, which is pretty far away from Harts Creek, whenever we got there, you had good crowd support. I mean, there was a lot of people that had purchased tickets and made the drive to come watch you in Bluefield. Huntington's a lot shorter drive. What do you think as far as getting any feedback and stuff? Do you think there's going to be a pretty good crowd there for you that night?
I think there'll be a very good crowd there. I honestly think there's going to be a mixed crowd because Brandon, my wife, as you know, lived in Boone County as well. So there's going to be a part of the crowd there that's there to watch Brandon and I both. And then there's going to be a part that's there to watch me and a part that's there to watch him. But I've had people call me just the last couple of days. It's never even went and watched a fight that are wanting to purchase tickets to come just to watch me fight. So it really makes me happy that I'm seeing that much support from the community, from the county. It really is a great thing. I'm all over the state, the Assessors Association, the entire state and their staffs. There's so many of them showing up. It's really a cool thing. I've got that much support.
I've been a part of so many of these events for the past 10 years. And this is one of those things where I can truly say, I guess it's from being from Boone County and spending so much time in Lincoln County. I'm just super excited to sit down and watch this fight. It's going to be awesome. You mentioned guys that help you and stuff. Take a minute. If there's anybody you want to reach out to, think whatever. I know behind every good fighter is a good support group. So talk a little bit about that.
First people I'd like to thank is my number one fans, which is my dad, my wife, and my 4 children. They have never missed a fight. Every fight I've ever been in, they've been to half of my training practices and every fight I've ever had. I'd also like to thank Pearl Dotson, Daniel Hensley, Adam Dingus, Josh Blair, Speedy Markham. Those guys have really took a lot of time out of their schedule to work with me. The IBW 317 has always supported me too. I'm a proud brother there. Like I said, I've had some wonderful people that have really took a lot of time out of their schedule to work with me and help me and try to make me better. And I really appreciate that from them.
Well, your dedication as a father and husband and in the community and as a fighter, it definitely is, up there with the tops. Nobody's going to outwork you. That's something we've talked about. I'm excited for you. It's a big fight coming up August the 28th at the Mountain Health Arena in Huntington, West Virginia. Tickets are on sale right now at kingofwv.ticketleap.com. It's going to be pay-per-view stream live at combatsportsnow.com. That company covered us with the last event, did really great. I was happy with that. I think it's going to be an exciting night. It gets us one step closer to finding out who's the baddest man in West Virginia. I'm glad you're a part of this. Thanks for taking time to do the interview with us, and train hard, and we'll see you August the 28th.
Hey, you're very welcome. Like I said, I can't wait to see Brandon in the ring. Brandon's a good guy and an excellent fighter. I want to make sure I stress that. He is an excellent fighter. So I've definitely got my work cut out for me.
It's going to be a great fight, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.